Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday night results, superstars, spoilers, and other wrestling news going around the world. Happy birthday goes to John Zandig, aka John Corson, turned 45 years old on Monday. Lance Storm turned 47 on Sunday. Lance trains wrestlers at the Storm Wrestling Academy in Calgary, and he worked a match with Matt Hardy on this past Saturday at the WrestleCon Super Show. Stay tuned for that results on the SmackDown video. Chief Jay Strongbow died on April 3rd, 2012. He fell at his home and didn't recover and passed away while in the hospital at the age of 83. There was no dark match event advertised for Raw or after Raw. WWE announced at the WrestleMania a new attendance record of 101,763 fans at the AT&T Stadium for WrestleMania 32. This beats out the previous WWE attendance record of 93,173 at WrestleMania 3. But didn't they have an outside attendance record at the LA Coliseum? I think it was 120-something thousand. So that disputes that. And they did not actually. They still broke the record of the WrestleMania 3. They actually had under 100,000 fans in the building, but they still set the new record thanks to Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer Radio. That they did have 93,000 fans, but they had over 93,000, but under 94,000 according to venue officials. WWE also announced that WrestleMania 32 in Dallas became the highest grossing live event in company history with only $17.3 million grossed. Nathan Sagay attended WrestleMania 32 in Dallas and sent his report from his experience from the event. Getting into AT&T Stadium was a complete mess. This is his third WrestleMania, by far the worst experience in terms of just entering the building. Even 20 minutes before start time of the main show, there were sections half empty. The pre-show was what it was, with the highlight being a WWE Women's title introduction. Thank God. The ladder match was epic. Every guy pulled his weight, and the crowd loved it. Sami Zayn in particular was predictably super over with the crowd. That suplex on Kevin Owens on the ladder looked brutal. Sin Cara's flip off the rope was pretty awesome too. It was cool to see Cody Rhodes get a good pop with the dusty ladder. Yeah, the one with the polka dots. And Zack Ryder was a well-received surprise. His interview later in the show was great. You could feel his joy. Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles was a pleasant surprise, as they had a heat of time to deliver it. The crowd took a while to get into it, and were buying it into a heap of the false finishes as well. A surprising result, as I think most people expected Styles to win, but it was not to be. New Day got a great ovation and entrance, but after the Unicorn Stampede bit, there was little interest. League of Nations is just meh. No heat at all. The result made sense when Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, and Steve Austin came out. The eruption for Stone Cold was on par with the loudest I've ever heard in person. It was an enjoyable moment with the New Day after they cleared out the lads. Shawn looked like he retired yesterday. He's in phenomenal shape. Side note, the Jumbotron showed graphics that we want some New Day. And New Day rocks in different stages of the match to hype the crowd. New Day are all over. And this is like having that creepy uncle, like something you knew and thought was cool. It became less cool instantly and does a disservice to the talent, and it was doubly frustrating to have the phrases appear because the big screen stopped showing the action, which is doubly frustrating. Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar was overwhelming. I thought Ambrose would hold on longer, but it looked like they sacrificed a little of what they could have done here to save a big spot for later. It was fine for what it was. This was the second time that they've involved the scoreboard, this time with a running suplex count. The women's match was fantastic. It was good to see them get plenty of time and not be a buffer match before the main event. Snoop Dogg's rap was cool, as was Charlotte's entrance. They looked rushed in the first 5 minutes, but it steadied into a nicely done triple threat. It did take the crowd a little while to warm up to it, but I think part of it was an exception or expectation that the match wasn't a high priority for the WWE and wouldn't last long. I was happy to see Charlotte go over, as having watched NXT there is a much better story to tell with Sasha Banks. This feels like the start of the WWE revolution. Let's hope so. Really enjoyed the match. This was the third, and thankfully last, match marred by a stupid suggested chant on the Jumbotron. This time it read "woo" each time Charlotte applied the figure 8. Shane McMahon versus Undertaker was interesting. There were a large amount of silence when there wasn't dueling chants. Everyone was invested in watching, just unsure who to support. They really booked themselves into a sit on your hands and watch corner. The match came off well enough. Obviously, that jump was insane. I wasn't alone saying I had shakes as he stood up there. That was beyond what I expected from him. I kept waiting for the point and on the climb where he'd stop and drop, but he just kept going. Insane. Glad he's okay. It was one hell of a moment, but I don't want to see that again. The Dre was what it was. Shaq. They call it the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Shaq was a cool surprise, I guess. No real standout favorite to get behind. Made this pretty weak, though. The Wyatt burial is complete. I enjoyed the segment mainly because I no longer hold any hope for the family. John Cena received a huge pop, and of course we sang. But there's a palpable respect coming through it. I'm glad he got to be a part of it. That brings me to the main event of Triple H versus Roman Reigns. The match itself was incredibly slow, and a section of the upper deck opposite the hard camera was trying to start the wave. Well, it made it down to the floor, as you can see it in the crowd, and there were ole, ole, ole chants at one point, a pretty loud, boring chant. I did not enjoy this match. I was one of the boo birds booing Roman Reigns. The booing was seriously loud. If it didn't come across, they messed with the audio. We were all thinking there had to be a heel turn coming, but nothing. Just another stubborn decision to ignore the crowd. Taker versus Shane should have finished the show with the way these matches were laid out. I'm off to Raw, as the reporter said, and still hoping for a heel turn, as it's beyond required at this point. Time to stop pretending he's John Cena getting a mixed reaction or respect. He's not. John received a huge reaction. Roman is getting closer to go away heat. All in all, a true enjoyable show. Live and another great WWE experience. Production values are so good, and the match quality was solid to great. Shane McMahon is reportedly fine after his Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 32. He was seen walking around without any visible injury at WWE's hotel after the event. After the match, he was taken out on a stretcher, which was part of the angle. Regarding The Undertaker, there was some backstage speculation if last night's event was The Undertaker's last WrestleMania. A lot of people backstage wondered if The Undertaker taking off his gloves had a symbolic meaning that he is looking to possibly retire. Lucha Underground worker Melissa Santos was reportedly backstage at WrestleMania 32. There was some chatter of WWE having interest in Santos a few weeks back. It was The Rock's idea to work with the Wyatt family during WrestleMania 32. It was rumored that Bill Goldberg would appear at WrestleMania 32, but it never happened. Goldberg wrote on Twitter at Goldberg, never in the cards to show up tonight. But I refuse to spoil it for everyone else by commenting, "Thank you all for giving a crap." Well, he used shit as his comment. Busted Open Satellite Radio Show with Bray Wyatt, hosted by David LaGreca and Doug Mortman. It airs Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on Sirius 93 and XM 93. He was asked what's next for him, considering the lack of marquee opponent at WrestleMania 32. That's the million-dollar question. I almost think that's better. It's got people asking and wondering again, and it becomes its own thing. I can't tell you how many people talk to me a day, and they're like, why? And they act like this has become some crazy disservice to me, but they don't know. They don't know. This is the problem with our society and our world. Everybody wants everything now. There's no patience. There's no thinking or thought process behind everything. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. I'm 28 years old. They're bringing up guys from NXT that are 34. I'm already there, you know. This is a slow process for me, and yeah. Would I want to be working Hunter in the main event? Of course I would. Would I want to be going after Undertaker again? Of course I would. But that's not where the cards fell this year. Who knows That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Everyone's asking these questions, but they don't know. On the perspective he has that allows him to be patient, there's a level of understanding that comes with seeing it. I didn't just see the good times. I saw all the horribleness in between and the drop-off when it ends. My mind has always been prepped to be there. That being said, there's no favors being done for me. When I was thrown away years ago, and I was thrown away, and no one ever thought I'd come back. I remember Hunter telling me something. Hunter told me, when you walk in the door, no one is going to look at you and go, "This guy needs to be a world champion." He's like, you have to find yourself and invent yourself, and you have to grab them by the throat and make them watch, make them understand you. That's where I came from, and that's exactly what I've always tried to do, and I think I've done a pretty good job for that. Not to mention adding 5 giants behind me has kind of helped me with that. On moving past his previous incarnation in WWE as Husky Harris, I explained the old guy as a shell of a man that never really existed at all, because that's exactly what it was. It was the man trying to make into something that they thought would be humorous for them, but it meant nothing for me. Never did it, never will. On whether true faces and heels still exist in wrestling today. TV and movies have changed everything about that. Stone Cold Steve Austin, for instance. There still is, to me, the cliche, good guy and bad guy. I really believe that. But there's also guys like me and Roman that kind of blur the lines. Deadpool has this wonderful thing, and I think this explains this wonderfully. He tosses the guy up, and he sticks him with 2 swords, and he goes, "Hey, hold on. I know it looks like I'm a hero here, but I want you to know something. I'm a bad guy." And he slices the guy in half. That's a great testament, too. I think, well, I am. I fight for what I believe in, but I'm not a good person. I never claimed to be, and I'm not. Comments on his relationship with Triple H. Me and Triple H, I think we have a love-hate relationship. I love him, he hates me. I'm just kidding. Hunter was there at the beginning of NXT. It was nothing. It was still FCW. It was a warehouse. And when he came in, everything started to change. It was a lot of cartoon characters. It was, I'm not going to name names, but a lot of goofs and, guys just wearing trunks and going out there, baby oil all over themselves, and then there was me. Then we started that first show. I was one of the first characters to ever come out, and I was so different. No one understands that at the time, because NXT was not what you see today, with all these bright characters, Finn Balor coming out with all whatever devil crap. It wasn't like that then. It was just cartoon characters, and then I walked out. It was just a great feeling because people immediately accepted what I was doing. They didn't care about the other guy. They didn't want to know about how it happened. They were just happy it did. They were very receptive, and Hunter was instrumental in that for believing in me when not too many other people did. He's carried me along the way, and I owe him everything. Shane McMahon and Undertaker are backstage at Raw. There's a discussion of at least one return tonight, with the idea that it could be Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, or Cesaro. There was word of Rollins potentially returning tonight. There's been a ton of speculation about when or if Finn Balor, Doc Gallows, or Carl Anderson will debut now that WrestleMania is in the books. Consider the source on this one. But RF Videos, Rob Feinstein, posted on Facebook claiming that the trio will debut tonight and start a feud with the New Day. At this point, no one has been able to confirm Feinstein's story although he has been known to break news now and then in the past. Randy Orton spoke with AfterBuzz TV about over WrestleMania weekend. You can check out the highlights below. Here, not below, but following here. On a shoulder injury, I had a match on October 12th in Chicago. My shoulder got stretched back. I had a repair 12 years ago that was destroyed. I had a little pain, got an MRI, and was told that they had to fix my shoulder again. I had a new guy do it, and a stabilization done that they do to rugby players get, and they are some tough customers. When I'll be back? A couple of months, maybe 3 or 4, 2 weeks. Maybe there's an RKO out of nowhere in Dallas. Not quite ready to be back on the road. I still have 5 to 10 years left. But who knows? I feel like I'm nowhere near done. Any comments on Daniel Bryan's retirement and a possible Hall of Fame induction for him? He wasn't with the WWE as long as a lot of these Hall of Famers were, but I feel like what he's put his body through in the business, I would love to see him cutting a speech and getting inducted. He's one hell of a guy. Shane McMahon's bruise on his face during Raw was a fake. According to several people at WrestleMania after party on Sunday night, Shane had no marks or bruises at the party. As WWE posted the following video from the Miz's Intercontinental title win on Raw, Zack Ryder, Miz's wife, Maurice, got involved in the match, distracting Ryder to help Miz win the title. There's 2 video links, one for the Miz and one for Maurice slapping Zack Ryder's dad. Renee Young, Booker T, Corey Graves, and David Otunga hosted from the floor of the American Airlines Center in Dallas. While the Superstars tapings took place behind them, they set up a WrestleMania video. Renee noted that there is a new champion in the house, Roman Reigns. It's about time, she said. Graves mentioned that the shift to the WWE's Women's Championship and the end of the Divas name and title. Booker spoke out about the Ultimate Journeyman, Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental title. Otunga mentioned Shaq entering the Battle Royal. Video recap of how WrestleMania took over Dallas. The panel also spoke about the coverage that WrestleMania received from ESPN. The host then spoke about Roman Reigns winning the title. Crowd went nuts behind them about a Ryback versus Fandango match that was being taped for Superstars. Yeah, really. The crowd will be insane. The broadcast team couldn't even hear themselves for a bit. Graves eventually acknowledged that Reigns won, even though the majority of the fans were not in his corner. Women's Championship at WrestleMania was recapped. Roman Reigns and Charlotte on NBC's Today Show was recapped from Monday morning. A recap of Rock and John Cena's appearance for WrestleMania aired. Dark match there wasn't one. Before the show, Superstars, spoilers, Ryback defeated Fandango. Crowd was super hot at the beginning of the match, as it was the first march of the night. Crowd didn't like Ryback winning. Loud Goldberg chants during the match. And the second match of the tapings was U.S. Champion Kalisto defeating Bo Dallas. And now for your Raw results. In the meantime, and WWE has not yet acknowledged Brie Bella's retirement. She announced on Twitter after WrestleMania that she is retiring. And backstage at Raw, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows were backstage. Very similar to WrestleMania. And here we go with the Raw news. From the American Airlines in Dallas, Texas, Raw. Then Now and Forever video was showed. A video package showed the highlights of the events from WrestleMania 32. Advertising 101,763 people. Let's see. Vince McMahon's music plays. The entire crowd is singing his song. Most of the night they were singing the entrances. McMahon said that that's the same chance his son had against The Undertaker. No chance. That's what you got. McMahon puts over WrestleMania, breaking in on all kinds of records. Unfortunately, we have a new World Heavyweight Champion. His son-in-law and daughter are not feeling good. McMahon says he took control of the lockbox this morning. No one has anything on him, and they won't ever again. Thinking about what happened with his son last night, seeing his grandsons out there, got him a little bit emotional, even as he was enjoying The Undertaker kicking the crap out of his son's butt last night. There was one time that got him. That was when Shane went to the very top of the Hell in a Cell. McMahon thought, my God, a Shane O'Mac chant broke out. McMahon thought he shouldn't do it. McMahon had no idea that it meant that much to his son that he would risk his life to achieve his goals. It gave him respect for him, but it also showed him how foolish he is. Vince is interrupted by a chant that puts over how crazy this crowd is the night after WrestleMania. McMahon then tells them to enjoy Monday Night Raw because it'll be one they'll never forget. Well, cue Shane McMahon's music, and the crowd explodes. Shane gingerly walked out to the stage to stand by his father. Shane has a large bruise on his left side of his cheek. A loud Shane O'Mac chant broke out. Vince says Shane has no business being here. A thank you chant broke out from the crowd. Shane says thank you. Shane says he wanted to come out here to say that. He also has two other things to say, since he's the only man in the family. Which got a ooh, like he's back talking to his dad. He does things face to face. Vince won, so he wants to shake his hand. The second has nothing to do with Vince. Shane wanted to thank all the fans. What they gave him, he'll never forget. Shane sounded choked up as he said that. A thunderous thank you, Shane. Chant broke out from the crowd, followed by a "You still got it" chant. Vince tells them not to enable him. It's because of the fans Shane got the hell beat out of him. Shane thanks the fans and says goodbye. Shane's music plays and as he's walking off to loud no chants from the crowd. Daniel Bryan style. Vince tells him to wait because nobody upstages him. Vince says he's often thought about how ridiculous and crazy it would be if Shane were running Monday Night Raw. A loud yes chant broke out from the crowd. Vince says to prove his point, he's interrupted by a let him run it chant. He's going to let Shane show what he's got. The crowd pops in as loud as Vince immediately walks off. Shane looks around and smirks. Shane looks pumped up about the decision. He got what he wanted. Oh, Dallas, you don't you dare be sour. Clap for the world famous two-time champs and feel the power. As the crowd also chanted along with them. New Day made their way out to the ring to a booming pop and a chance of New Day rocks. They'll be defending their WWE Tag Team Championships. Kofi Kingston and Big E will represent New Day. The crowd was absolutely into everything New Day was doing right now. Big E thanks the crowd as the crowd sings to them. They start gyrating in the ring. They don't have to say a thing as the crowd's doing it. Big E thanks the crowd as the crowd. Big E says last night didn't go as they planned. They say no. But Kofi Kingston says it was exciting. twerking with Shawn Michaels. On the other hand, Xavier Woods took a Stone Cold Stunner from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Woods says upon review of the tape, it was pretty much his own fault, but it was light, baby. They celebrate wildly as Woods impersonates taking the stunner. Then they hold up the last piece of WrestleMania Booty-O cereal. I'm still thinking it's bagels. Kingston says that's the booty of life. Woods chants that he holds the Booty-O up like Simba was held up in The Lion King. They say the tagline, Booty-O's. They make sure you ain't booty. Woods says that they're about to get back at the League of Booty. At the end of the night, they'll walk out as the new World Tag Team Champions. The New Day didn't even need to say it because the audience said it for them. They are extremely over here. They'll do that because New Day rocks. Commercial. Back from the break, we'll see Lily and Garcia dancing with the New Day. The Italian and French commentary teams are shown sitting at ringside for Raw tonight. New Day versus League of Nations. Representing New Day, Kofi and Big E. And we got Sheamus and King Barrett. We'll represent them. Kofi Kingston will start the match against Sheamus. The bell rings and they circle the ring before locking up. Sheamus powers into the corner and gives a clean break. They lock up again. Sheamus again powers him to the corner. This time Sheamus punches him down before kneeing him in the head. Sheamus sends him into the ropes, but he lowers his head and eats a kick. Kingston ducks a clothesline, slides under his legs, and then gets back up and drop kicks him. Sheamus punches him back and charges, but Kingston gives him a back body drop over the top rope. Big E runs in and throws King Barrett out of the ring. Big E then leapfrogs Kingston over the top rope and onto Sheamus. New Day celebrate before throwing Sheamus back inside the ring. Kingston goes up to the top rope. Rusev distracts him. Sheamus then throws him off the top rope to the floor. King Barrett's tagged in. Barrett drives Kingston into the apron before putting him in the ring for a 2 count. Barrett taunts New Day before Kingston fights back. Barrett reverses a whip into the corner and counters a slingshot into a kick to the ribs. League of Nations then taunt Kingston as he recovers. Barrett then clotheslines him out of the ring. Barrett taunts the crowd as we go to commercial. Back from the break. To see Kofi trapped in a chin lock, Xavier Woods has the crowd going with a trombone. There's a wave going around the crowd again. Kingston fights up. Sheamus counters him with a knee to the ribs. Sheamus mocks the wave in the crowd in the ring. Sheamus kicks him in the face and talks some trash before hitting the ropes. Kofi then takes him down with a double stomp to the midsection. Big E and Barrett are then both tagged in. Big E connects with 2 belly-to-belly overhead suplexes before viciously knocking Sheamus off the apron. Big E then lays Barrett out with a belly-to-belly suplex. Oh, by the way, somebody on Twitter sent Big E a comment after the match. That was a booty-to-belly suplex. By the way, Big E coming back that nope. He doesn't do the booty-to-belly suplex. As Big E starts clapping and gyrating as the crowd gets back into the match and stops putting themselves over. Barrett knees Big E in the head before Big E sends him into Sheamus. New Day hits the Barrett with a midnight hour for the win. It's more like a spear throwing him into him. Knocking Sheamus off the apron. And that sets up the pinfall. Should be noted that Barrett being run into Sheamus should have resulted in a tag for Sheamus. But he was not in a corner, so it would not have been a legal tag. Winners and still tag team champions, New Day. 2 stars rating for the match by one dirt sheet. Sheamus yells enough and tells them to turn the crap off. Bang their music. Sheamus says he's sick and tired. They are a group of the greatest athletes from across the world. The crowd is loudly booing him. They should be destroying everybody in the WWE, but there's something wrong. The crowd is chanting, "How you doing?" Sheamus asks if they're through before telling them to shut up. "Everybody knows you're only as strong as your weakest link." Rusev and Alberto Del Rio then grab Wade Barrett and hold him up for Sheamus to deliver the bro kick, and then knocks him out of the ring. Wyatt family's video flashes on the screen. The lights go out. When they come back on, they're already in the ring, viciously attacking the League of Nations to delight the crowd. Eric Rowan sends Del Rio into the turnbuckles before throwing him out of the ring. Rusev tries to fight Braun Strowman, but he's overwhelmed. The crowd is singing, "He's got the whole world in his hands." Rowan and Strowman hold Sheamus up as Wyatt Akers arcs him back. Wyatt then lays Sheamus out with his sister Abigail as the crowd cheers loudly and chants, "Thank you, Wyatt." Wyatt family poses in the ring, and Wyatt says, "Follow the buzzards." Commercial. Still photos of some of the impressive images from WrestleMania. Renee catches up with Vince McMahon, who's getting into a limousine. Jeffy's leaving because he's confident in his son's running the company. McMahon laughs before saying he's not confident at all. This show is going to be a disaster, and he doesn't want them to see the ship going down. Besides, this is only temporarily. And McMahon gets in a limousine and drives off. Summer Rae is in the ring as she and the Total Divas team, Bad and Blonde from last night. If she were running things, it would have been different. At least she wouldn't wind up flat on her face like Sasha Banks. Talking about wasting a WrestleMania moment, Sasha's music interrupts her. So we get that match. Summer versus Sasha. Sasha gets the right in her face before saying Summer forgot about one thing. She's Sasha Banks, and she's still the boss. Sasha slaps her in the face. Summer quickly puts herself through the ropes to keep her back before the match actually starts. Well, the bell rings, and Summer immediately gets out of the ring. Summer then grabs Sasha and snaps her off the ropes before hitting a spin kick for a 2 count. A light. Sasha is going to kill you. Chant breaks out from the crowd. Wonder where they got that from. TNA with Samoa Joe. Joe's gonna kill you. And that also happened on Fridays. NXT Dallas Takeover. Sasha powers her to the corner with shoulders her in the midsection. Then Sasha hits a running double knee before hitting a double knee takedown for a 2 count. Summer gets her knees in the midsection, but Sasha comes back with a back elbow. Sasha ducks a spin kick, but Summer counters out of a bank statement. Then Summer rolls her up, but Sasha rolls through to apply the bank statement. Summer immediately taps out. Dirt Sheet gives that match 3/4 stars. Apollo Crews will debut next on Raw segment. Crews is seen talking to Shane McMahon backstage. Commercial break. Images and articles talking about WrestleMania 32 are shown. Any viewing of Roman Reigns' image draws massive boos from the crowd. Tyler Breeze versus Apollo Crews. The bell rings and they lock up. A loud NXT chant breaks out as they have faced in NXT. Breeze applies a side headlock, but Crews counters his own side headlock before being whipped off. Crews shoulder blocks him down before cartwheeling over him and doing a backflip. Well, he's a gymnast. Crews then tosses him up and takes him down with a power slam. Breeze quickly drops him onto the apron, but Crews shoulders him and flips into the ring. Breeze immediately super kicks him for a 2 count. Breeze punches him in the corner and stomps him. Breeze connects with a back suplex for a 2 count. Breeze connects, quickly transitions into a chin lock. Crews fights up, but Breeze knees him in the midsection before shouting, "It's about him." Crews quickly kicks him in the back of the head before connecting with a military press drop, followed by a standing moonsault. Crews lays him out with a spin-out powerbomb for the win. And the rating was 1/4 star. Highlights are shown of Roman Reigns and Charlotte from the 2-day show. Later tonight, Charlotte will be presented with a new WWE Women's Championship. Again, coming up next, we'll see Roman Reigns. Commercial break. Roman's music plays. He comes out to thunderous, sustained boos from the crowd. Reigns nods his head and holds up his WWE World Heavyweight title on stage. The commentator talks about how the crowd is booing people they normally cheer. JBL says that they're just having a good time once again. Reigns paces in the ring before grabbing a microphone. The crowd is visually booing him. Reigns says, "Oh, come on." They boo him even louder as he smiles. Reigns says he's not a bad guy. Reigns says he's not a good guy. Then Reigns says finally, "I'm the guy." The guy. That's why at the biggest WrestleMania of all time, he beat Triple H's ass. The boos are deafening now. Reigns says he told Shane he was coming out here. If anyone wants this championship, they can bring their asses out here right now. Roman then tosses the microphone away. He's ready for action. Well, first person out, Jericho. He comes out to a good pop. Jericho is not dressed to compete. He's not even wearing his bright light jacket. And he's wearing his Fred from Scooby-Doo scarf. Jericho gets in the ring and stares at Reigns. Jericho says the crowd can shut their damn mouths and listen to him. Jericho mentions that Reigns says he's the guy. But from his vantage point, he's just another guy. Reigns is just another idiot like everyone here tonight. Crowd loudly cheers, but Jericho says he's seen them come and go. But no one can compare to him because he's the best in the world at what he does. The audience chants, We are idiots. Jericho says they're not going to hijack the show on his watch. Jericho says they are certainly surrounded by idiots. Reigns can't compare to him, and neither can the internet favorite AJ Styles. Jericho says he beat and buried Styles. Jericho wants to do the same to Reigns. Jericho says he wants the championship. He's not asking or telling him this. Jericho is demanding it. Reigns will put him at the head of the line. Jericho asks if Reigns understands what he's saying to him right now. Cue AJ Styles music, and he comes out dressed to compete. Styles gets in the ring. Kevin Owens music hits. He comes out to a ridiculous pop from the crowd. Owens angrily limps to the ring, selling the effects of the ladder match from last night. Owens points at the World Heavyweight Championship and says that's his. Sami Zayn then comes out to equally loud pop. The crowd sings his theme songs as he makes his way to the ring. Reigns looks at Zayn and brushes him off. Zayn and Owens immediately go for one another. Jericho and Styles get into it as well. Reigns just stands back and watches. Zayn then lays Owens out with over the top rope somersault plancha. Jericho knocks Styles out of the ring before Reigns spears him down. Reigns holds up the WWE World Heavyweight Championship to a massive boo before leaving the ring. Commentators wonder who is next in line for a title opportunity. A replay is then shown of Vince McMahon giving Shane McMahon control of Raw for one night. Later tonight, we'll see the Usos take on the Dudleys in a tables match. Commercial break. More still photos are shown from the impressive angles from WrestleMania 32. Roman is seen backstage walking. Crowd immediately starts booing him. Shane McMahon walks up to him, congratulates him on becoming champion. Tonight's main event, your opponents will be a 4-way match to determine number one contendership for the heavyweight championship. It'll be Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn fighting for an opportunity at that title. Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy is sitting at ringside. Baron Corbin, the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which included Shaquille O'Neal, will be in his first singles match since moving to the main roster. Corbin poses next to the trophy. Corbin says for those in the crowd that don't know who he is, he doesn't care. This trophy is the only thing they need to know. He's carved a path of devastation and broken dreams to get there. His arrival signals the end of days for anyone that stands in his way. Dolph Ziggler's music hits. Out he comes to a very light pop. So we get a match between them. They circle the ring. Ziggler docks a lockup. Corbin corners him and tosses him in the corner. Ziggler gets out and punches away at him. Corbin goes for the back elbow, but Ziggler continues punching him. Ziggler drop kicks him, but Corbin doesn't go down. Ziggler hits the ropes. Corbin lays him out with a back elbow. Ziggler rolls to the apron to recover. He snaps Corbin off the top rope. Ziggler goes for a slingshot, but Corbin punches him in the face, sending him to the floor. Commercial break. Perfect spot for it. Back from the break, and we see Ziggler trapped in a nerve hold. Ziggler fights up. Corbin cuts him off of the momentum and takes him down with a nerve hold again. Ziggler punches out and catches him with a back elbow. Corbin charges, but Ziggler sidesteps him, sending Corbin out of the ring. Corbin lands on his feet, gets it back in the ring, and misses a shoulder thrust in the corner, connecting with a ring post instead. The crowd seem to be amusing themselves. Ziggler avalanches him in the corner before connecting with the second one. Splashes. Ziggler punches away at him before going for a neck breaker. But Corbin pushes him off, and Ziggler connects with a face buster for a 2 count. Ziggler grabs his knee, which he hurt last night at WrestleMania. Ziggler starts tuning up the band, Shawn Michaels style, but Corbin blocks a super kick. Ziggler comes back with a kick to the knee and a famous for a near fall. Both men take their time getting back up. Ziggler goes for the zigzag, but Corbin holds the rope to get out of it. Corbin immediately follows up with a deep 6 for a near fall. Ziggler rolls out of the ring to recover. Corbin goes to the outside to retrieve Ziggler. Ziggler punches him back, and Corbin comes right back with a big boot over the barricade. Referee is counting them both out. Corbin sends Ziggler into some trash cans in the crowd as the referee calls for the bell, counting them both out. And the match only gets half a star. From the ratings, I'll give you the ProWrestlingScoops.com posting their version of the show. I'm giving mine as well as this one as well. So theirs goes along with mine. I'm giving them the credit. Coming up next, we see highlights of the no-holds-barred match between Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose. Commercial break. More photos of the no-holds-barred match between Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose, which is basically a street fight, which Lesnar handily won. Zack Ryder made his way to the ring for the Intercontinental Championship. Yes, a rematch for WrestleMania. Lillian Garcia announced this match is for the championship. Well, sort of commentators mentioned she's just overzealous. Still photos have shown of Zack Ryder winning the WWE Intercontinental Championship last night at WrestleMania 32. Ryder stands in the ring, crowd chants, "You deserve it. Woo, woo, woo." Ryder says the last night was the greatest moment of his life. All of his wildest dreams came true, and he finally had his WrestleMania moment. When he was a little kid, he took a picture with Razor Ramon, and he let him hold the Intercontinental Championship. Well, a photo was shown on the Titantron of him when he was a kid. Last night, they took another picture, and this time, Ramon held his Intercontinental Championship, just as he promised at WrestleMania. Ryder says he has someone to thank. He thanks his father, who is sitting at ringside again. Ryder thanks him for encouraging him to live his dream. Well, cue the Miz's music. Anyhow, he comes on the stage to stage in his WrestleMania robe. Miz says this is so touching and heartwarming before mocking him. There's no denying that Ryder had his WrestleMania moment, but just like many Hollywood stars, Ryder is just a flash in the pan, a one-hit wonder. Miz gets in the ring and says Ryder ruined his WrestleMania moment in front of his family, friends, and wife. Miz came within inches of winning it until Ryder pushed him off. Ryder says, "Sucks to be you, bro." Miz then says, "It does not suck to be him." Miz puts his hand up and says, "When it goes up, the crowd mouth goes shut." Well, that's his stitch. Miz says if Ryder wants to deserve that championship and prove that his name belongs with the likes of Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, and The Miz, then he'll put his title on the line against him right here and now. Ryder says he has nothing to prove to him. Miz says that's spoken like a true never was. If Miz were Ryder, he wants to prove that last night wasn't a fluke. Maybe he's scared Miz will send him back to the Long Island with his goofy father and show that Ryder is just all hype. Well, his tag team from NXT is called the Hype Brothers. Ryder says, woo, 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 let's do this. So we get that up. They lock up. Miz applies a side headlock. Ryder whips him off. Miz shoulder locks him down. Miz hits the ropes and goes for the reality check. But Ryder fights out and drop kicks him down. Miz reverses the whip to the corner. He runs into a knee. Ryder connects with a missile drop kick for a 2 count. Ryder runs into a boot. Miz goes to the second rope. Ryder cuts him off and connects with a super hurricane Rana. Miz rolls out of the ring to recover. Ryder takes him out with a baseball slide, and we go to commercial. Back from the break, we see Ryder punching away at Miz. Miz misses the clothesline, but he's managed to duck a running crossbody that sends Ryder over the top rope. Miz rolls out of the ring and puts Ryder back in. Miz covers for a 2 count. Miz mounts him and punches away at him. The crowd is uncharacteristically quiet for this match. Miz digs his knee into the back and applies a surfboard stretch. Ryder fights up, but Miz knees him in the midsection. Ryder comes back with a face buster. They're both down. Ryder elbows him in the back of the head, connects with a clothesline. Ryder clotheslines him in the corner and goes to the top rope. Miz avoids a missile drop kick before connecting with a kneeling DDT for a near fall. Miz waits for Ryder to get up, but he counters out of the skull-crushing finale. Miz avoids the Rough Rider and goes for a kick, but Ryder ducks it and rolls him up for a 2 count. Miz goes for the suplex, but Ryder lands on his feet and catches him with a neck breaker for a near fall. Miz cuts Ryder off as he goes up to the top rope. Ryder fights off of a suplex, and the Miz hits the ropes. Ryder connects with an elbow drop. Miz gets his foot on the bottom rope before the count of 3. Miz holds the bottom rope as Ryder tries to pull him off. Miz quickly boots him in the face and takes a moment to catch his breath. Miz goes for the patented corner clothesline, but Ryder avoided it. Ryder then forearmed him back in the back of the head. Ryder goes for the broski boot. Miz gets out of the ring. Ryder connects with a baseball slide. Miz quickly sends him into the barricade before dropping him on the apron in front of his dad. Ryder's father talks trash to Miz. Ryder's father then shoves Miz down because Miz did the finger poke to the chest. And JBL, I heard JBL, he shouldn't touch another wrestler. He should be arrested. Heel for him. Well, if a wrestler put his hands on me, I'd be doing more than that. Well, okay. Ryder quickly takes Miz out with a running forearm. After being pushed by his dad, Ryder puts Miz in the ring. Marisa comes running, jumps the barricade and gets in Ryder's father's face. Maurice talks trash before slapping him. Security hauls her off. As Ryder is distracted by all this, gets caught with a skull-crushing finale. Miz pins him to become the new Intercontinental Champion. And the ratings got 2 stars. Miz celebrated by winning the championship. Maurice runs in and they embrace and kiss inside the middle of the ring. Renee Young backstage with Kevin Owens. She mentions that he lost the Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match last night. Owens says it took 6 other guys with ladders to beat him. She mentions that he had a confrontation earlier in the night with Sami Zayn. Owens says Zayn won't leave him alone. Owens didn't lose the title last night. Zayn robbed him of the title. Now he's on to bigger and better things. Shane McMahon knows how much better he is than everyone here. That's why he put him in the Fatal 4-Way match, which he will win. He'll go on to destroy the Roman Empire and take the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. As far as Zayn goes, he may have cost him the Intercontinental Championship, but he won't cost him the WWE World Heavyweight title. Road to KO Mania begins tonight. KO 2, as he says. Shane McMahon saying about talking to Charlotte and Ric Flair backstage. Formal presentation of the World Women's Championship is next. More still photos as they go to commercial from WrestleMania 32. After the break, they advertise Evolved Villains from NXT debuting on this coming Thursday's SmackDown. The ring is decorated with red carpet as the new Women's Championship is set up on a table inside the ring. Hall of Famer Lita, along with Paige, Tamina, Naomi, Lana, Summer Rae, Natalya, Eva Marie, Emma, Alicia, Fox, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks. Lita says she's always asked who the females are that she looked up to growing up. She didn't have a lot of female role models growing up, but for the young girl today, with this new generation, that's not the case. The division has never been stronger. Each and every one of these girls at WrestleMania put their bodies on the line and push themselves to the limit. The crowd gives them a nice hand. Tonight they will formally present the new Women's Championship. Lita then introduces Charlotte to the ring. Charlotte, WWE Women's Champion, make their way to the ring alongside Hall of Famer, father, Nature Boy Ric Flair. The title is given to Charlotte. The crowd chants for Bayley, who is not there. Charlotte says, "This moment is about gratitude." The crowd boos her. Charlotte says, "This is about all the women in this ring." She calls them superstars. They've collectively made this happen. This wouldn't have happened if they weren't for the people. People believed in them. The crowd is chanting whatever they want and aren't paying attention. Charlotte says, "This is the future." Charlotte is cut off by women's wrestling chant. Charlotte holds up the championship. Most importantly, she wouldn't have gone in the history books as the new women's champion if it weren't for her father, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Flair always goes above and beyond for her. His daughter is now immortalized. She thanks her father. Charlotte then thanks everyone for attending WrestleMania last night because their energy fueled her to victory. Charlotte says she hasn't even been here a year and has accomplished so much. Charlotte cuts off their cheers with woos. Then Charlotte turns to Sasha and Becky. Charlotte says they did it before saying that she did it. Becky gets in her face before all the women walk off. Charlotte says they need to show some respect. That's why she's the women's champion. This is her moment. Natalya grabs the microphone and cuts her off. As all the women have left the ring now, Natalya says Charlotte needs to learn a thing or two about humility. She is the woman that has given her some of her hardest fought matches, like at Roadblock. But Charlotte doesn't respect her. Charlotte says this is her moment. Natalya says Charlotte thinks she's genetically superior, but she's got the heart of a champion. Natalya tells her to put her title on the line against her. Charlotte says the title on her arm signifies that her family will always be better than Natalya's. Natalya takes her down and applies a sharpshooter. Ric Flair reaches in and pulls his daughter out of the ring. Renee is backstage talking with AJ Styles. She asks how he's feeling about the Fatal 4-Way. Styles says this is about new beginnings. The day after WrestleMania feels like a change. Shane McMahon is running Raw. We also have the World Heavyweight Champion that is taking on all comers. Styles says he didn't come here to lose one WrestleMania match and fade away. Styles is here to become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Tonight is a new era, and that era is phenomenal. Coming up next, Usos take on the Dudleys in a table match. Commercial break. Both Usos are out. Two teams start brawling off to start the match. Both of them inside and outside the ring. Bubba Ray puts Jimmy Uso in the corner before throwing him out of the ring. Devon Dudley sends Jay into the barricade. Bubba lifts the table and slams it on Jimmy. Devon and Jay continue brawling out at ringside. Bubba sends Jimmy into the steel steps. Jay sends Devon into the barricade. Jimmy puts Bubba in the ring. As he lowers his head and eats a kick, Bubba hits some jabs, avoids a super kick, and big boots him. Dudley Boys then connect with a what's up headbutt. Dudley Boys go to get a table, but the Usos take them out with stereo planches. As they go to commercial, Back from the break, we see Devon trying to superplex Jimmy through a table. Jimmy fights him off, but Devon falls into the ropes. Jay super kicks Bubba onto the table. Jimmy sets up for a splash, so Bubba rolls off the table. Jimmy still catches him with a superfly splash. During the break, the Dudleys went for a double team suplex through the table. One of the Usos moved the table. The Usos set up two tables end to end just like at WrestleMania, but the Dudleys fight them off. Dudley boys go for a stereo powerbomb through the table, but Usos counter with stereo super kicks. Bubba takes a Ric Flair face-to-face face-first bump. Usos scale the barricades and take them out with running clotheslines like the Hardy Boys used to do. The Usos put the Dudleys on the table and go to the top rope. The crowd is loudly booing them. The Usos go for splashes, but the Dudley Boys move. The timekeeper rings the bell, thinking that's the end of the match. Went for splashes. He splashed the table, but nobody was there. Impromptu. But the Dudleys had to physically put them through the table, which there was no second bell. Devon picks up Jimmy and sends him through a broken part of the table that was propped up in the corner. Bubba screams, "That's how you win the tag team win the tables match," and yells at the timekeeper. And the ratings gave him 1.5 stars. Renee's backstage with Sami Zayn. She says he's battling three men and asks if he has experience in a fatal four-way match. Zayn says he's been in every kind of match. He's the underdog from the underground. Zayn was underground for 14 years, but he's here now. Zayn says that this is the biggest night of his life. Zayn needs to prove that can be the World Heavyweight Champion. Kevin Owens attacks him from behind and punches him before sending him into a crate. Owens then powerbombs him through a table backstage. Referees run in to break it up, and as Owens goes away. Replay showing Kevin Owens attacking Sami from before the commercial. The Dudley Boys are still at ringside arguing with the fans when Enzo and Cass's music plays to a massive pop. Yep, NXT guys. More debuting. Enzo Amore and Cole Cassidy come out and walk right by the flabbergasted Dudley Boys. Enzo and Amore then grab a microphone and say, "My name is Enzo Amore." And the crowd's chanting along with them. "And I am a certified G and a bonafide stud. And you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Big Cass. And he's 7 foot tall. And you can't teach that. Bada boom. Realest guys in the room. How you doing?" Amore says. They've got a couple of haters. And they look at the Dudley Boys. Amore says, "Hate isn't anything but love disguised as jealousy. If they were the Dudleys, they'd hate them too because they're ugly as hell." Amore says that they're so ugly, tears run down the back of their heads to avoid their faces. "How you doing?" Again, Amore says he'll put Devon's lazy eye back to work. Devon absolutely flipped out and screamed that he's a son of a bitch. So much for the preacher guy. The crowd is absolutely on fire. As Amore says, "Bubba better think twice because that's one more than he's had all day." Bubba needs to fall back like his hairline. Amore says that they'll drop them like a deuce. The crowd is absolutely loves Amore and Cass. Cole Cassidy grabs the microphone and says the Dudley Boys don't like what Amore is saying. So why don't they come down to the ring and do something about it? Dudley Boys charge the ring and get on the apron. Bubba says, "Screw you," and they walk off. Cassidy says there's only one word to describe them, and he'll spell it out for them. Soft. SAWFT. Crowd chanting along with every word. Still more photos of the Rock's confrontation with the Wyatt family before getting assistance from John Cena at last night's WrestleMania. They're making it seem like Sami Zayn is out of the fatal four-way match now. The match is up next, and we'll find out who the replacement will be. Miz, along with his wife, Maurice, who will be at ringside, will defend his newly won Intercontinental Championship again.